Have you ever wondered why you suddenly feel rushed the moment you step onto a certain street, while another block makes you want to slow down and breathe? We tend to think of cities as mere backdrops to our lives, collections of concrete, glass, and asphalt where things just happen to be built. But the truth is much stranger and more intimate. Every city has a silent architecture, a hidden psychological script written into the physical world that dictates how fast you walk, how long you stay, and even what you think about. Urban planners and architects aren't just designing buildings, they are engineering human behavior, often without us ever realizing it. Let us start with the most obvious way cities control us, the illusion of speed. Think about the modern downtown street. It is usually wide, lined with tall, flat glass facades, and features long, unbroken lines of sight. To our evolutionary brains, wide-open spaces signal safety from predators, which paradoxically encourages us to move faster. When a street looks like a highway, drivers speed up and pedestrians hustle, feeling an unconscious urge to clear the zone. Contrast this with older European city centers or historic neighborhoods. They feature narrow winding streets, varied building heights, and rich textures at eye level. This is known as friction. When your brain has to process a constantly shifting visual landscape of shop fronts, brickwork, and recessed doorways, you naturally slow down. You pay attention. The street isn't just a conduit to get you from point A to point B anymore, it becomes a place in its own right. The width of a sidewalk doesn't just accommodate your body, it dictates your psychological pace. Beyond speed, cities also dictate our thoughts through the subtle psychology of verticality. Look up the next time you walk through a corporate financial district versus a historic public plaza. In the financial district, skyscrapers tower overhead, pushing hundreds of feet into the sky with sheer, imposing glass or steel walls. Psychologically, immense verticality without human-scaled variation triggers feelings of insignificance and awe, shifting our mindset toward productivity, scale, and institutional power. Conversely, public squares framed by 3 to 5-story buildings create an outdoor room feeling. This human scale tells our nervous system that we are in a shared, communal domain. It fosters a sense of safety, encouraging us to linger, converse, and let our minds wander into creative reflection. The height of a wall literally shapes the altitude of your thoughts, nudging you between feeling like a tiny cog in a machine or a valued citizen in a community. Finally, consider how cities curate our social lives through the geometry of gathering. Jan Gehl, the famous Danish urbanist, often pointed out that life happens at the edges of spaces, not in the middle. If you put a massive, empty concrete plaza in the middle of a city, people will naturally hug the perimeter, walking close to the buildings, cafes, and benches. We are biologically wired to seek edge spaces where we can observe without being exposed. Designers who understand this silent architecture place seating, lighting, and doorways strategically to foster spontaneous human interaction. When a bench faces a blank wall, it isolates you. When it faces a pedestrian walkway with a partial view into a cafe, it invites connection. The placement of a single street lamp or a low brick wall can mean the difference between a lonely commuter corridor and a vibrant neighborhood street where neighbors actually learn each other's names. We walk through our cities believing we are entirely in control of our destinations and our moods. We think our commute is just a commute, and our favorite park is just a nice place to sit. But next time you step outside, pay attention to the width of the sidewalk, the height of the buildings, and the invisible lines that guide your feet. You will realize you are walking through a three-dimensional book, reading a story written decades or even centuries ago, a story that tells you how to move, how to feel, and how to think. If you enjoyed looking at the world a little differently today, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us as we explore the hidden layers of our everyday environments.